John Master here, brand new video. Today we're doing My Hero Academia Vampire Edition. So yeah, let's get this started. I am recording this in day because I actually remember that my old one, I accidentally deleted it. You could say just go to the trash and get it back. No, when I delete stuff on my here, in my gallery, mostly it's automatically erases it. So yeah, I have to re-record this. So I do have pictures. So yeah, let's get this started. Let me set a timer for 1 hour, because it's a 1 hour special, and thank you guys for so many subscribers, and thank you for everything you guys have done to my channel, and let's get started. So, where we're starting at, mostly the Resistance, made of Deku, Bakugo, Ochaku, Ida, and some random strangers. So, well, they're mostly trying to reclaim some of their old bases back, because they've been mostly affected by mostly witches and some vampires and demons. So, well, when they're still talking about this, Deku's saying to them that I have a plan. So Chaku says, so what's the hell is the plan? Mostly Deku explains that mostly me and Bakugo are going undercover because we're going to check to see if the vampires have something that we do not know. And Chaku's saying go on, saying that mostly we're going to get captured. Then Bakugo says, what? And he says, yeah, mostly we're going to just get captured. Then we're going to get sold off to a vampire. But I know one thing only. We might get sold off to the royalty, mostly the vampire king and queen. So I know one thing only. Mostly you're going to get sold to the demons. I'm going to get sold to the vampires for some reason. Bakugo's saying, how the fuck does he know this? And he's saying that mostly, well, what do you think? You're mostly brawling. Mostly you're a fighter. So, well, the demons will have you. Mostly, I'm a mage, so well, the vampires might have me, or the demons, or the witches. But I doubt the witches have enough money to do that, so it's going to be around those two. But I bet the vampire royalty mostly wants me, though, because I'm the leader, so, yeah. Bakugo explains that that's really stupid of you, Deku. And, well, he says that, no, it's not, mostly. It might be stupid, but still. So when they're continuously arguing about it, though, Ida says, break up, you two. Mostly Ida's the smart one in their group. Deku is smart, though, but Ida's smarter. So, yeah. Mostly Ida's he's mostly a healer. Yeah, he's a healer. So when they're continuously talking about this, though, and stuff, Ochaku's saying this is a bad idea. Ida's saying this is a bad idea. Bakugo's saying it's a bad idea. Deku's saying it's just a good idea. Some of the other people agree that it is a bad idea, but when they're still talking about it, vampires attack. Mostly it's the vampire hunters. Mostly Gyro is the leader of one of the highest class of vampire hunters. So it's a team of 20 vampires, mostly Gyro included. Gyro says that mostly the resistance, put your hands up, and we will not hurt you. Mostly Deku says you can eat... He says you can eat a dick, you succubus. And Gyro says that kill everybody here except the leader of the resistance. So, well, Deku says that, okay, resistance, let's go. So Deku summons his, let's check, see, who do I actually want to summon? He summons forth the Quiet Place version himself. So, well, Deku mostly gets the abilities. Deku changes into the Quiet Place monster and he said, everybody charge. So they start killing vampires. Gyro calls and tells him that we need some more backup, though, and vampires do come. Gyro tries to attack Deku, but mostly Bakugo stops her by mostly slicing off her hand. You're gonna say that's fucking badass. I'm saying this, though, not stuff, but yeah. Mostly Deku sees this and he says, good job, Bakugo, and he gets attacked by a few vampires. Mostly Deku says, okay then, so he immediately summons forth Goku Black Deku. He says that, have you ever seen a Super Saiyan? And he says, what? And he says that, you'll understand later. He immediately goes Super Saiyan 3. So he kills the 5 vampires that are around him. So it seems like Deku's resistance winning. Wrong. Gyro says that, I can fight with only one hand with my sword. She grabs her sword off her back and immediately starts fighting Bakugo. Left and right, and Bakugo's actually overpowering her, but she's actually winning. It's a little thing, though. So, well, Deku is mostly, seeing this, And he's saying, Bakugo, move. And immediately he charges up a Yamcha Spirit Ball. So he throws it at Gyro, and Gyro dodges it. And he says, haha, you missed. And he said, no, I wasn't. And he aims for all of his research and stuff. And it all blows up. Mostly he's burned. So, well, everyone's saying, what the hell was that? He said that I threw a Yamcha ball. Or a spirit ball, though, at our research. So that means they can't take it. So, well, everyone says that Deku says everyone will retreat except me and Bakugo. So everyone does with their stones. They immediately, no homo involved, actually. Just some magic stones that can teleport. So, well, they teleport to a different base. But Bakugo and him stay alone. There. Bakugo says that how much energy you have left anyway. He says that not that much anyway. My mental is strained, though. Because mostly if he summons too many, it makes a mental strain on him. The more he does, it's highly chance that he can lose his mind and memories. So, well, Bakugo says that, okay, what the hell you want to do now? Because we're surrounded by vampires. He says mostly, I think we might need to do the fusion dance. He says, what? And he says, crap, I forgot to teach you that. And he grabs 2 earrings out of his little clothes and says, put this on your left ear. And Bakugo says, wait, I'm not putting an earring on. It says that it'll fuse us to create a stronger version of himself. And he says, fine, I'll do it. So they do, and they become, well, how do I say this? Deku, and Bakugo. Dekuku? I don't know. So, he says, I am neither Deku or Bakugo. I am the mighty, shit, I actually don't have a name. But he starts plowing through all these vampires, though. Ripping them apart, though, killing them, burning them and stuff, and using his abilities. But, well, Deku uses too much energy, so they immediately defuse. It says, what the hell, it only lasts for like 2 minutes. He says, yeah, I used too much energy. He says, what? And he says that mostly when we went through that many vampires, we used so much energy. So Gyro's just there, clapping your hands, saying, ha ha ha, you lost. And he says, mostly not exactly. And Gyro's saying, explain yourself anyway, you human. So Deku immediately knocks up Bakugo. He's still in Super Saiyan 3. And he says, I give up. And he says, what? And he says, I give up. Gyro's saying, why the hell would you give up? He says that mostly, you won. So he immediately Super Saiyan 3, though, and he immediately sends back Quiet Place Deku and Goku Black Deku back to their timeline. He puts his hands, in the air and says that, I give up. So, Gyro arrests him and stuff with Benchta and Bakugo. So, she knocks him out by grabbing his head and immediately hanging on the wall. But, well, all the research burns, so they can't really find any of their bases. So, well, when Deku and Bakugo wake up, they're on the auction house. Mostly where a place where they sell humans at. So, well, Bakugo's saying, my fucking head. He says, wait, why the fuck are we here anyway? He says that, shut up, idiot. Mostly they're selling us to vampires or demons or witches or werewolves. He said, no fucking way did you just actually do the plan. And he said, yeah, I did. He said, you idiot. What about all of our research anyway? He says, I blew it up. And he says, oh yeah. But Bakugo's still saying that that's really stupid. But mostly the auction's starting though. Mostly the first humans there is just sold to a werewolf, mostly being killed. The second one actually is Deku. Mostly they say that, we have a special guest here. Mostly the leader of the resistance, Azuka Midoriya, or Deku we like calling him. And all the demons, witches, vampires, and werewolves are scared of him. Because of all the shit he can do. Even smiling, he smiles at every single one of them and just flicks out the middle finger. And, well, mostly the vampire person this auction sells and says that mostly we'll be selling this, the leader of resistance, $500 starting. Mostly somebody says 600, other people say 700, and it continues on until a few minutes later, Deku's really getting bored. He starts yawning really, loudly and says that, jeez, can you just not make up your mind already? And the vampire guy who's auctioning house says that, just shut up, human, you're here anyway. Didn't you lose? He said that, maybe not, maybe I can kill you too. And immediately, Deku has this little pending, he's unlocking his chains. And mostly the thing he's captured in. So he immediately kicks down the thing that's kept him in, because you're going to say, why the hell does he not use his powers? The bench stone blocks off every single ability of vampires, werewolves, everything. So, well, Deku walks out of the cage and says, how the hell you got out of there? And he says, you guys can't really make a good lock cell anyway. Immediately, some vampire guards immediately start trying to, saying, get back in your cage. And he says, geez, watch yourself anyway. I mean, I could kill you right now. And he immediately touches Sam on the ground and says, overhaul. And immediately, overhaul Deku comes and says, what type of hell is happening here? And he says, oh, it's you. Huh. So you're fighting vampires? He says, yeah, mostly these vampire twats just continues to aggravate me. He says, yeah, they're fucking aggravating. I mean, if I had to fight a vampire, they'll just turn into, some matter or something. How's you and your little sister going? Yeah, good. Aries actually good. He says, huh, good. So everyone says, what the fuck's happening? And Bakugo's saying, what the hell is happening? Immediately, overhaul Deku goes in Deku and says that mostly I'll go back. But he says, let me just check something. So he touches the bench stone and says, huh, so overhaul Deku can't turn this stuff anyway. Huh, you guys made some strong materials that actually block off stuff. Even quirks don't work. And he's saying, what? He'll say that mostly you'll understand sooner or later. So he mostly puts back his chains on and says that that's it. And everyone's saying that he did that under a few seconds or a few minutes. So well, they sell Deku to the royal family of vampires, mostly the king and queen. So well, he says, hey Bakugo. He says, what is it? And he says that mostly, you know that overhaul deck I told you about? And said, yeah. Mostly, reach out your hand. He says, why? Just do it. So, well, he actually changed up the material structure to actually not affect his abilities, and his quirks. So he erased in Bakugo's mind of all their location of their bases and Deku. So yeah, it only lasted for a few minutes till the matter turned back though. So, well, Bakugo sold to demons, mostly for their little tournament. So we're doing, this first episode is mostly about Deku, where he is, and the second episode is going to be where Bakugo is. Third episode is going to be mostly how the resistance is going, then fourth episode might be something else, I can't remember. But yeah. So, well, Deku, mostly, he wakes up a few hours later in the royal family's palace, and mostly he's, chained up to a wall. And he says, where the fuck am I? And most of the king and queen sees him, says, you're mostly in our palace, human. And he says that, do you guys actually not know how to call people by their name? And he says, shut up, human. He says that, call me human one more time, I'll just turn you into a sexy. What can I turn you into? He said, I'll just turn you into a cake and I'll eat you. And from your stupid wife. Or your succubus wife, though. How many men has he fucked off already? And he immediately punches Deku in the face and says, what the hell is that for? He says, call my wife again a succubus and I will kill you. And he says, that'll be hard though. And he says, what do you mean? He explains that mostly he can't die, even with these stupid benchstone things. And he says, just stab me then. So the king immediately gets his hand and goes through Deku's spine. Immediately drops Deku and immediately regenerates. He's asking, why the hell are you still alive? And he says that mostly, a higher plane of existent version of myself gave me immortality. That means I can't die. Mostly I know this, and I told my friends, and they understand. Mostly I can't die, even with these stupid benchstone things. I mean, sometimes I'm actually glad I don't die anyway. And mostly he told me that mostly I can't die for a good reason. Because if I die, then, without the immortality, every single timeline would die with me. So technically, I'm like a chain to an anchor, and to a ship. If I break, the ship will move. That's how it goes. So, well, the daughter of mostly the king and queen come out and see Deku. Most of the king and queen think that mostly can hypnotize Deku, so, well, the king immediately unchains Deku out of his binding and says, you guys are really stupid. And immediately the king tries to grab Deku and mostly hypnotize him, but mostly Deku punches him and tries to escape. Mostly he tells the guards to get him, but she was there to see. So Gyro gets her sword and immediately points at Deku and starts running. And he says, watch your step, human. So he says, oh, what the hell is your name anyway? And she says, I'm Gyro, mostly the king and queen's guards. guard. And he says, huh. I always thought that it would be a male anyway. And she immediately cuts off Deku's hand. Deku's hand immediately regenerates, says, ow, you know how hard that thing is actually regenerating though? And mostly she just says, go back to the king and queen array. And Deku says, okay, jeez. And immediately her benchstone stored. He immediately touches it and mostly turns the matter into something else. And she says, what the hell you did to my sword? It's mostly steel. And he says, yeah, now it will be benchstone. And that crap's actually hard to manipulate anyway. I mean, it took me like a few minutes to figure out how to manipulate that shit. I mean, if you guys made a stronger type of benchstone, then maybe it'll be hard for my quirk to do it. So she still pointed the sword at him and said, I will kill you if you do not go back. So he says, fine, jeez. So, well, the king thinks Deku is really pathetic and stuff, and he says, huh, pathetic human. And he says that you might want to watch your tongue, king. I mean, I might become the king next, though. Mostly the king of killing all vampires, at least. So, mostly they chain Deku back up and saying that, what the hell can we do to him and make his mind break? And the princess is mostly like a hot person, and Deku's nose immediately bleeds. He says, why the hell am I nose bleeding? And he says, wait. Holy shit. And he's thinking about this thing. He says that, wait, I'm not attracted to vampires. The fuck? I mean, they're succubus anyway. And he's mumbling to himself, though. The king and queen see Deku doing this, though, and they're saying, what the fuck is he doing, though? And Gyro immediately pokes him with his sword and says, hey, shut up. And he says, okay, jeez. So he wipes his nose with the blood and stuff, and mostly he just sits there and watches them think, though. Mostly the king says, fine, how about this? So he asks Deku a proposition, and he says, what is it exactly? He says mostly, we won't kill you exactly. He says, yeah, because I can't die. He says, just shut up and listen. He says, fine. He says, we won't kill you exactly, and he says that mostly, we will stop hunting down all your friends and your family if you mostly tell us one thing only. And he says, what is it exactly? He tells him that we want you to become, well, a training Gyro. And mostly Gyro says, wait, what? And he says, yeah, mostly we saw you, well, I mean, if we had to say though, he has like a book of like how many good people, like how many good guards are though. Gyro's second place actually because her fighting skills are really good, but she has a bad temper. Mostly the king says, most of you do have a bad temper, that's why you're second place, but you are still good, though. If we had to say strength and speed and stamina, you would be first, but anger management, it would be like third or second. So, what Gyro's saying, wait, what exactly? So, he tells him that, just listen. He's saying, you will be mostly trained with this human, because he'll be, like, mostly teaching you, and will stop hunting down his friends if he accepts it. But if he doesn't, we will just kill all of his friends. So Deku's thinking about this, and mostly the king and queen are seeing Deku thinking, saying that, you only have, like, let's check see, about 1 minute to answer. And he says that, He says that mostly fine, exactly. But he says that he has one thing only they have to accept. He says, what is it exactly? He says, mostly, if I figure out you are going behind my back, I will turn all of you into a fucking cake, eat you in front of an entire vampire garden, and say that I'm now your king and queen, and laugh about it, and I'll mostly murder your daughter. The king grabs Deku and says that you talk about my daughter one more time, and I will kill you. And Deku's saying that, remember I can't die? Paradox bullshit, though, stuff. And immediately, Gyro mostly has her sword to him, say that, speak again, human, I will cut off your head. And he says, okay then. So he spoke, though, and she didn't cut off his head, because the king told her not to. Mostly, they knock out Deku, and a few hours more later, mostly Deku wakes up to, well, chained up to a wall, mostly only his feet. And Gyro's there saying that, wow, humans actually sleep too long anyway. And he says, just be quiet, you succubus. And Deku sees where the fuck is he, mostly an area where they train and weapons. He says, why the fuck am I here again? And he says, human, you can't even listen, can you? He says, nope. She explains that mostly, if you can't really defeat me in this training section, you'll be turned into a vampire. And he says, wait, what? He says, yeah. She's smiling about this because she knows it's hella weird done stuff because Vampire Hunter kills vampires, but he turns into a vampire, so, like, it's a little hypocritical. And he says, first thing, you idiot, I won't turn into a vampire. And he sees where a sword is. He immediately grabs it and breaks the bench stone on his feet. But they're still connected to his little feet, though, because they're chains. So, well, Gyro says, you finally got out your chains. So they start doing a sword battle, and the king and queen are watching this. Deku actually wins by mostly getting her sword off her hand, and he immediately points it at her and says that, who won now, you little succubus? And Gyro immediately grabs Deku's sword and he stabs him with it. Deku really didn't see this coming, says, So he immediately grabs out of his stomach and says that, you want this or something to lick? And mostly he's making fun of Gyro because she drinks blood and is addicted to her. Gyro immediately grabs Deku though and says that, listen here, you stupid human. My name is Gyro. I'm mostly trained with you. You would be so glad if you didn't have that immortality thing. I would immediately kill you immediately. And Deku's saying, wow, vampires are too angry and shit though. And she immediately throws Deku into a wall. The king and queen are still looking at this though, and the king writes something down in his journal. Mostly Deku's saying, hey king, what the hell are you writing in that journal anyway? And mostly Gyro hears this done, and she's mostly thinking, oh shit, she's fucked. And mostly Deku says that, so you can't actually fight though. I thought you vampires were just old bloodsuckers. And he immediately cuts off Gyro's leg. She mostly gets on the ground, and her legs do regenerate though, but it's slowly time. Deku says that, well, once a succubus, always a succubus, am I right? So, well, the king and queen asks for their daughter to come down and stuff, and Deku hears and saying, wait a second, if the king or queen really powerful, that means then his daughter might be really powerful. And I know Deku can kill the king and queen immediately easily though. So yeah. But the daughter is stronger than the king and queen combined. So, well, the daughter does come, and mostly the daughter asks her dad, why the heck she called her for, and saying that mostly we want you to mostly hypnotize him. So, well, she tries to hypnotize Deku. It works for a short amount of time until he breaks out of the hypnotism. He says, wow, you do suck at hypnotizing people. And it says, wait, why shouldn't it not work? It says that Benchstone, remember? And she sees that and says, oh yeah, I forgot Benchstone does that. And immediately still has a sword up to her. And he says, listen here, you stupid king and queen, or whatever the hell your name is. He says that mostly I have your top guard or something, that succubus though, and your stupid daughter here trying to hypnotize me. You guys not actually figured out something? Benchstone, the stuff you made, blocks off all powers. Even mine. So that's the one thing about you. You guys can't think, you idiots. Because Benchstone hypnotizing does not work. So, well, daughter immediately tries to bite Deku. Deku dodges it. And Gyro is like on the floor and immediately trips. The princess starts laughing on the king and queen, and Deku is not aggravated, he just starts laughing. The king and queen ask Deku what the hell is he laughing about. He's saying mostly, well, I thought vampires weren't funny at all though, but you guys can actually laugh though. Saying that if you guys were actually nice to humans though, and demons, werewolves, witches, we would actually not attack you guys, but you guys have to be dicks. So, well, mostly, how much time do I have left? Okay. So, well, he explains that mostly, were you guys trying to bite me or something? And the princess says, yeah, mostly I want you as my boyfriend. Immediately, Deku starts laughing, like, really hard, though, and he says that, you want me to date you? And he starts laughing more. And the king see mostly his daughter, like, crying and stuff, and mostly, he immediately says, mostly tells Deku that if he doesn't stop laughing, though, he mostly will tell all of his guards to go after his friends. He says that mostly all my friends could take down all your stupid guards, even that succubus Gyro. Gyro immediately turns to her beast form though and grabs Deku by the leg. And, well, Deku's actually saying, huh, I've never seen that actually in a beast or something. At least a vampire. So, well, she still has to hop on one leg because it's still not regenerating fast enough. And saying that mostly you should just shut up for a while anyway. And she knocks out Deku. She mostly turns back into her human form though and gets mostly a bag of blood and drinks it. Mostly this regenerates her leg completely though, and mostly it's a little weird thing. Only the royal family does not turn to those beast form of vampires. So only regular vampires do that. And it's mostly a 1 in 5 chance to do that. So it's rare, but it's really not. So like royalty from their bloodline can't do it at all. And mostly normal vampires have a 1 in 5 chance to do that. So, well, the Deku wakes up in the princess's room, mostly chained up to a wall with his leg. So he's saying, "Where the fuck am I now?" And he says, "Wait, where the hell do I have chains on my arms?" And he's thinking about it, but mostly he hears somebody come through the room, and he says, shit, I need to hide. But he sees the chain still on his leg. He says, fuck. So he thinks of hiding under the bed. So he does. Mostly the princess doesn't see Deku hiding and stuff, and he's being quiet, really quiet. So, the princess is asking, where the heck is he anyway? Mostly Gyro is, with her, and she says, I'll look for him. So, mostly she tries to look through the closet and stuff, the bathroom, and she finally looks in the bed and sees Deku. And says, oh, hey, succubus. And she immediately walks around where the other side of the bedroom is and where the chain is, and immediately yanks Deku out of the bed. Says, jeez, you were actually part of my resistance, though. I would actually respect you, though. Mostly you're a succubus. Mostly, the princess says, Gyro, just wait out of my room. And she does so. The princess says you're mostly gonna be staying here for a while. He says, no shit, Sherlock. And the princess does not understand this expression. Says, what the hell does it mean? And he says, it mostly means that mostly everyone understands what you mean, you idiot. So, well, for something else. Can't really remember. So, well, he says, so why the hell are you keeping me in your room for some fucking reason? And saying that mostly, well, my mom and dad mostly want you as, well, a guard. And he says, I won't become a stupid guard anyway. Aren't all your guards like vampires or something? And it says, mostly they are. So he says that, what are you gonna do to me? Turn me into a vampire or something? And she says, yes. And he says, wait, what? So she tries to bite Deku again. He kicks her, though, with her leg that's actually loose. And she holds Deku down. Sorry for that, Marlos. I thought you were going to make a homo joke. Yeah, I told my brother to be quiet through this wife because actually was hour-long. So, hour-long specials will be only me. Sorry for that, guys. If they're so quiet, though. My brother is being quiet, though. Good for him. We have to put a like goal. It's mostly going to be 10 likes because my brother's actually being really quiet. He doesn't fucking aggravate me through Walmart. And he says that chicken be raping. If technically if you eat something, it's classified as rape because it does not consent. Yeah. Does mostly when you're putting cover on yourself, is it classified as consent? The cover doesn't. You don't consent to cover you. So yeah. So mostly she bites Deku on the neck. He says, "Ow, that fucking hurt." Deku's bite does not regenerate, and he mostly feels sleepy. Why the hell is fucking why the hell do I feel so sleepy anyway? She tells Deku she tells Deku that his blood's actually really tasty. Really spicy and stuff. And Deku says that, just shut up, you stupid succubus. He actually tries to bite the chain. But that does not work because its teeth immediately break. This stuff is really strong though. It survives long though. If we actually say in the Minecraft standpoint, it would mostly be netherite, but on steroids. Netherite's on give me a second, guys. Can I say just be fucking quiet? Yep. I had to assault him. So yeah. So Deku falls asleep. Mostly, the princess tells Gyro that mostly I turned into a vampire. He says that, wait, what? And he says that mostly, yeah, she has. So Gyro is actually just smiling, saying that, huh, so now he's gonna become a hypocrite. And they start laughing. Deku mostly wakes up a 30 minutes later. Say 30 minutes. So 30 minutes later, he wakes up and he sees mostly... He stands up and sees that Bion's next to that stupid succubus. And he says that mostly shit. So I better use Plan 5. Plan 5 means that he thought of mostly he used Azimuth's abilities though when he was like before he got captured. And before all this crap though happened, he said that mostly he used Azimuth's abilities to mostly, well, think of everything ahead. He knew that vampires would have tried to turn him into a vampire, so he planned for this. He mostly, well, went to his mind and mostly just trained to not feel anything, mostly not going after humans with blood. So, well, he just goes back to sleep. He's doing this. So he continuously doing this for a couple of days. 3 days later, the vampire princess comes and sees Deku awake still. Or awake. And mostly she says that, huh, so now you're a vampire now. And Deku says, yeah, so what? Deku's fangs haven't come in. Mostly, she says that mostly, well, you are mostly... Why the fuck do I always say mostly? Shit, I need to stop saying mostly, because that's fucking aggravating. So mostly, Deku says that, so what? She says that, well, you're a vampire, so, well, you're technically my boyfriend. And Deku says, haha, that's so funny, I'm not going to become your boyfriend, because you're a succubus, so I'm a human. She says, no, you're not, you're mostly a vampire. And Deku says, no, I'm human, because, well, still human. Technically, if we had to say, were you mostly drained out of your blood, or mostly were you created by those two fucking hags over there? Mostly the king and queen. The princess says to Deku that you should just shut up. And Deku says, nah, I might not. So he says that, so what? She says that she has actually a blood bag thing. You know those type of thing where they, like, sell blood? And she immediately waves around Deku. Mostly Deku doesn't give a mind. Saying, why the heck are you not, like, want this blood anyway? Says that, mostly, you'll see what happens though. Why do you think they call me the first thinker? Says, why exactly? Says that, if you actually were watching human TV shows, actually, not watching the shit vampires make, it's terrible as hell. I mean, I watched it and it's actually terrible as shit. My bet's gonna be good in a few years, maybe. He says that mostly there's this one type of alien called Azimuth. The first thinker. He thinks of everything though, and actually, before we got me and Baka captured, I actually used one of his abilities to mostly think ahead. And I knew that a vampire would try to turn me into a vampire. So I've been doing all this mental crap though. Mostly going back to sleep, training stuff in my mind, not getting affected by your stupid blood. So yeah. He says that you can wave around that blood bag all you want, though it won't do anything to me. So she says, that does sound like a great idea, but she has something else. She says that I'm going to be shocking you when you try to go to sleep. He says, really? Wow, that's actually not a good idea and stuff. And mostly Deku said that though, and she just says, just shut up. So Deku, well, says that, so what the hell's happening now? She says that, well, you're just gonna be sitting here for a while. He says, okay, then I'll just be going back to sleep. Deku goes back to sleep. She immediately goes into her closet though and gets a shot collar. I need to do something for a second, guys. Wait for a second. So yeah, sorry for that, guys, but the world had to call me. The world revolves around Dio, not the other way around. But yeah. So, well, Deku wakes up a few minutes later and he has a shot collar on him. Says, why the fuck do I have a collar? So, well, she explained that mostly I told you I would shock you if you tried to go to sleep. So Deku says, yeah, right, and tries to go back to sleep. She shocks him on the highest setting. This is not a normal shock collar. This is the type of shock collar that actually supposed to hurt humans. And he says, ow, that fucking hurt. And she said mostly, ha ha, that's hilarious. And she continuously shocking Deku. He says, stop it, you stupid succubus, and saying that mostly I'll stop if you must become my boyfriend. He's saying still no, because fuck vampires, am I right? They're fucking succubus. I mean, you're fucking a dead corpse. Like, Huss fucking. You're gonna fuck a Huss. It's like, he says that mostly a Huss fucking. She says, what? And saying that mostly your entire race is dead corpse. Mostly just living on the living and just thinking that you're alive. But you aren't. You're technically dead corpse. Like Matt Peck always said, you are a thing that is dead, created by a dead power, made by dead things. Or something like that. Man, Matt Peck was great, though. And she does not understand what he means, though. It says that you're just a fucking dead Huss. Mostly a thing that thinks is alive, but you aren't. Mostly, you're created by a dark power, by a dead thing. Or something like that. So, well, she shocks Deku again. Mostly shocking for like a long time. He starts trying to grab the collar though, but mostly she's grabbing his hand and not doing that. And he mostly says, okay, geez, stop. So, well, she says, mostly, you're gonna be, well, a guard for me. He says, fine then, jeez. So Deku does still have his his mostly rebel stuff still on him. He still has those Patara earrings because he has 2 separate spares. And he's thinking that if I actually get one of these earrings on Gyro and me, then I could use my body to actually, well, kill her and stuff. With that Beast ability, though, that'll be actually really interesting. But he thinks of the drawbacks. Mostly the vampire thing because Gyro's like a lot of blood. Mostly she wants a lot of blood. Deku doesn't. So, like, mostly I think Gyro will win the fusion. So, yeah. He says, fine. Jeez. So, well, she unties it to his chain, and he mostly follows her where the hell she goes. Mostly, Gyro seeing this saying, wait, princess, why the heck is the prisoner, like, out of the chains? She explains that mostly he's gonna become my protected guard like you. So, well, Deku starts smiling though and stuff, and Gyro sees Deku's fangs. Mostly, Deku didn't feel them though and stuff, so, yeah. Gyro says that, okay then. So, well, she says, does he even have a weapon at all? He says, yeah, I do. So he immediately summons a version of stuff that is called Obsidian Deku, or Nether Deku. Nether Deku. From Minecraft. He immediately has the ability to create anything out of obsidian. So he mostly says, you might not want to see this. So his mouth continuously moving around. What? Yeah, Huss fucking. It's like a beautiful thing. Matt Pack, by the way, hashtag Matt Pack, hashtag Kirigo, hashtag Pop Bob and Housemaster. You got your brothers? Ebola? So yeah. How do we just not know Housemaster just how the hell do we not know just Housemaster is just Pop Bob? But yeah, let's continue on. So, well, mostly creates an obsidian sword and mostly says, now is this better? And it's mostly like the exact same design as Gyro's. Said that you just copied my sword's design. He says that mostly, yeah, I did. But, well, this obsidian is mostly made of magic. He says he immediately tosses to her and she can't pick up, saying, what the hell can I not pick up? He says that mostly it's like Thor's hammer. And they don't understand. He says that, damn, I should stop using these references. And he's saying mostly only the person that's worthy of wearing it, mostly handling it, or the person that created it. Mostly like me. And he starts picking up really easily. And he said mostly that I can only handle it and person that's in the resistance. So yeah.
No! No!
Bad.
No!
Yeah, you get this. So let's continue on.
Please, no!
So let's continue on. So, So let's continue on. So, well, he grabs his sword though off the ground and says here. Shit, it's not marvelous. He's strangling me, guys. He's strangling me. He's strangling me. Stop. You slapped me with 2 booty cheeks.
Whoa!
Dang.
Whoa!
So let's continue on. So he grabs his sword. That's racist. So let's continue on. So, well, after, well, he has a sword. He says, well, shouldn't I be following the princess or something? And, well, they start following the princess. Mostly, Jerry would say, I have an eye on you, human. And he says, aw, thanks. You actually like me. And, well, she's saying that mostly, you know you're a vampire still, right? And he says, I know. So Deku knows he's a vampire, but he wants to check to see what the hell they're doing. Mostly, there is judgment. Mostly when a human does something bad, they send them to the king and queen to be executed. Mostly, all these people are seeing stuff, the vampire prince, and some of the guards, and Deku. Even Gyro. Saying that mostly, well, you are mostly executed for killing 12 vampires. Or at least killing a few vampires, killing witches, raping, some bullshit and stuff, it's disgusting. And he says that most of your judgment is death. Mostly, the king sees Deku by his princess, though, and mostly says that, daughter, can you come here? And mostly Deku follows her and Gyro. Mostly saying, why the hell is the prisoner out? And saying that mostly, well, he's mostly my protective guard. Mostly Gyro can kill him, though, and stuff, so, yeah. So that's fine. Mostly the human sees and say, wait, you're Deku from the Leader of Resistance. Says, yeah, so. And he says, can you help me, though, and stuff? And he says that, guy, let me just tell you something really important. I don't help rapists. So, like, anyone in my... Okay, let me tell you something really important. What the fuck did he did? Like, did he kill, like, how many people did he kill? Like, he killed a 9 vampires, raped a few vampires, though, without consent. Yeah, you're a scumbag. So, yeah. He tells them that mostly the resistance only help people that actually aren't rapists, though. So, yeah. And I'm the leader, so I can make whatever the fuck rules I want. And, well, he says that mostly I'll just kill him already. He gets himself singing it, sort of says that mostly I'll just sing you to... He said, mostly I'll just sing you to the curse realm. And he starts to chain on his sword, and a portal opens up. Mostly he yells at, hey, preeminent, grab this idiot, and the tentacles immediately grab the citizen that raped, like, a lot of people. This is a touchy subject, please get off this video right now. So, yeah. Mostly, the king is asking what the hell Deku just did. He explained that mostly the curse realms where everyone dies. That's where your soul goes to. That's where one place... What? Okay, and... Okay, then go fucking watch it then. Just tell me one thing only. Tell the subscribers to subscribe to my channel. When I need some subs. I want 300 subscribes. I want Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's fucking gay. Go! Back, you heathen. So yeah, that's the one problem. So yeah. So, he said that that's where one place all souls go to in each timeline. They always go to the curse realm, and I can banish people there. Mostly the way to unbanish people is mostly allowing me to unbanish them and I go there. But mostly, my immortality does some bullshit that allow me to stay here. And he says that mostly I could banish you, but mostly it's just a hassle of time anyway, that enchantment took so long. So his sword is mostly now floating with some green energy. And the queen asks what the hell has happened to his sword. He says that mostly this happens when, well, I curse someone to send them back to the curse realm. Mostly, well, it turns green. Mostly with some curse realm energy. Mostly you can open portals willy-nilly to open curse realm portals to allow ghosts to come through. Mostly the king says ghosts, and he says that, okay, let me get this right. So there's vampire, werewolves, witches, and some motherfuckers, right? Yeah. And you guys don't believe in fucking ghosts. They mostly no. And he says, fine. So he does his enchantment again, though, and immediately a portal open. He yells to tell the preeminent to let Moro out of there and his little friends. And Deku. Turn down the fucking volume, you dumb cunt slut. Cunt. Shut up, Dr. Psycho. So the guy who says slur that not even Darkseid would say. So fucking, ugh.
What the?
It looks like my penis. Like after it's on a sausage. I mean, when, our Uncle cooks hot dogs.
Okay, you're right about that one.
Yeah, he sucks at hot dogs. No offense, Uncle Eyes. If you are seeing this, what if though, Uncle Eyes? You do suck at fucking making hot dogs. No offense, but just saying, you sucking fuck. So yeah. So Moro and his little gang of Deku come. He says, oh, hey Deku. Says, yeah, you're still banished to the curse room? Says, yeah. So he explains that mostly when you die, you go there. You get turned 2 reasons. Number 1, stuck in the preeminent to live out your sentence as a ghost forever. Or that shit. Or become a ghost soldier, like Deku over here. Mostly me. And the king asks him, why the fuck does that ghost look like him? He says that mostly a different timeline where I died, I went to the curse room. Mostly, well, you only go to the curse room for 2 things. You get cursed there, or you have some revenge you want to do on some people. Like, really serious revenge. Like I did. There's 2 split timelines, where I actually killed All Might and Bakugo, or mostly, I actually became a good guy. So yeah. So he told him that mostly he knows spinjitzu and other types of techniques. Mostly, he told him as long as that portal's open, he'll continue respawning, though. And if I keep that portal too open, the preeminent could get out there and curse this entire plane of existence, or timeline. So yeah. So, well, the king's interested in saying that mostly. So let me get this right. If somebody dies, and they have some good revenge, like yourself over there, they can go to the curse room. But if they die, they go somewhere else. He says, yeah, mostly hell or heaven, but mostly the curse room's a little in between, though. So yeah. He's saying that, interesting. So we tell, what the hell is that? What? Oh, chips. Okay. So he tells, well, Deku, the ghost version of him, to explain how the fuck did he die, or how the fuck did he die. He explains that mostly, I think, wait, is that Gyro? And he says, yeah. Oh, aren't you guys dating in your timeline? He says, yeah, mostly she's actually nice, though. And mostly, Gyro says, wait, what? And he says that, yeah, in a different timeline, you date him, Nomu Deku, SAP Deku, not Xenomorph Deku, Doomslayer Deku, some other Dekus and stuff. So yeah, you're mostly like 10% of the mostly your 10% of the timelines where I date you, and the 90% chance is mostly Toga, Mina, Ochaku for a big percent, and some other shit. So yeah. So, well, she's like thinking about this scene. That's really weird. So I dated a ghost, and he says, well, you're a dead corpse, so that ghost Deku says that. And she's not aggravated by this. Says that mostly, well, I can possess bodies if I want to, but I haven't possessed a vampire body yet. He immediately turns himself invisible and possesses Gyro's body. But he says that, gee, this is so hard to possess a body anyway. And mostly, Gyro's with some green energy on her, because she's possessed by Deku. And, well, he starts doing stupid things with her body. Mostly, Moro's seeing this scene, he's just like shaking his head and stuff. And the king and queen are saying, what the hell's happening? He say that Moro explains that mostly ghosts can possess people. And mostly, well, we can possess any types of people. But it's harder to control supernatural beings like vampires or werewolves, right? He says, yeah. So, yeah. What the hell? Huh. So, yeah. So, well, he's like, really weird. And Moro says that, Deku, we need to go back. And he says, fine, jeez. You guys can really never have fun, Moro. And he tells them that, mostly if you need our help for something, Moro says that if you mostly want to line us with the curse realm, you guys can just say yeah or no. So the king says that mostly, most of the king says that, yeah, we actually do want to align us with the curse realm. Sobi says, good. Mostly, well, we're staying in this exact dimension for a while. And mostly Moro says that actually okay, Deku. He says, yeah, mostly that's okay. As long as you don't really fuck up the timeline or anything. I mean, you already are, but like, as long as you don't do any crazy shit here, like possess people, like not possess people, like kill the king and queen, because I know one timeline that you guys actually did that. It's fucked up. So yeah. So well, they tell him okay then. So well, when they're still talking, immediately somebody comes through the door and starts running. Mostly Moro sees this and he says, who the hell's that guy? And well, he says, you're gonna die for killing my friend. And well, he's charging with a sword and Ghost Deku says that, so should I like do some shit? And he says, just do whatever you want, kid. And he says, finally. So he does spinjitzu on the guy who's mostly had that sword. And he smashed into a wall. The king asks what the hell was that? He explains that mostly that was spinjitzu, mostly a type of fighting style in our timeline. Mostly you spin around and you create like this spinning round thing. Ghosts is when they use spinjitzu is mostly green. Other type of elements are different. So a person with fire abilities like Kai is mostly red. Zane's is blue. Mostly Nia's is a darker blue and Jay's is like a blue. I don't know how. Yeah, light blue. Way marvelous. Bad. Don't speak my what ifs of 1 hour long. So yeah. So well. Immediately the guy says, wait, you're the guy from the resistance. Why the hell are you allowing them to do this? And he's saying mostly that, well, they're mostly not hunting down my friends. So well, I always keep up my end of the deal. Because I'm actually a wholesome human. And he says that, which one is he talking to? And he says, me, you idiot. And he says, oh, yeah. And he says that, do you want to curse him or, like, make him go to the curse room or something? He says, mostly, yeah, I said too. And the portal's still open. And he yells out to the Priam to get this guy. So the Priam's tentacle is going after him, but mostly the guy sliced off the Priam's tentacle. And it immediately grows 2 of them. He thinks he's doing this till there's, like, a lot. And he's saying, you fucking idiot. Can you not tell? And immediately grabs him and yanks him through that portal. He uses his sword to, like, try to force it back and not trying to go into there. And, well, Deku just says that, oh, I'll help you. So immediately he slices off the guy's arm when he's holding it. So he gets sucked in. And Ghost Deku sees this guy's weapon and says, this sword's actually cool, I'm keeping it. And he makes a ghost version of it, mostly the ghost sword. Is he playing VR? So yeah. How long do I actually have? Jesus! So yeah, this is actually good. VR and Doom, by the way, guys, we're watching a Doom movie, and it's really good, actually, I have to say. Really good. I mean, they keep these... Oh, great, a person speaking in a language I do not understand. Hey, Mars, can you translate that? What? I thought you took Spanish class. Man, I don't take Spanish class, man. If I had to take Spanish class, then I would be terrible. I want to take Japanese class, because actually...
That's why I changed classes, so... I understand.
Jim Kanun? Jim Kanun? Are they speaking Spanish? English? North Korean? Sorry if this offends anyone, but I really don't speak Spanish at all. I only know the numbers and stuff.
Oh, no, like...
I actually can't say uno. I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. I really don't give a shit about the numbers, so yeah. Number 107, Uno Soluga. So yeah. So, well, shit. So, well, Cheryl sees Ghost Deku and stuff, and she says that, so, is he gonna stay here and stuff? And he says mostly yeah. So, well, the king and queen agree tomorrow that mostly they have free reign to come here whenever they like to. But, well, the vampires will ask them for their assistance if they need help. Moro says fine. And he says that mostly we're a peace treaty for, like, a while. He says that mostly Ghost Deku and, well, he'll be staying here for longer. And mostly we'll be going back to the Curse Realm. But mostly torture those two people that just got there anyway. So yeah. Sorry if you're hearing anything moving though, it's my bed and stuff. So yeah. Shit. Wait, what? So yeah. So, well, let's continue on. So, well, mostly, well, the ghost version of him asks Deku that, so are you gonna absorb me or something, or like, am I gonna stay here? And he says, mostly I'm not gonna absorb you, actually, I want to see how you act here. So he says, fine. So he still has Gyro's bite, and mostly says, I better get out Gyro's bite, it seems really weird. And he said, Deku explains that she can actually go into her, like, weird beast form. It says, wait, really? And he says, yeah, it's really cool though and stuff. Sorry for that. Ugh. I had to drink something because my throat gets dry. Dry for something. No homo involved. So, yeah. So, well. Should've got that dip. Where the fuck's the dip?
I bought dip.
Yeah, remember we bought the dip? Bring it here.
Why?
I'll beat you senselessly.
You didn't even brought your fucking shit, dumbass.
Compensate them.
The chips that we bought.
Fight me. So yeah. Uneros, the Suga Dega. So yeah. So, well, he tries to go into Gyro's beast form, but it does not work. And he says that fine, I'll kill Gyro's body. So what he does. And Gyro's really mad at Ghost Deku because he got into her body. And he says, why shouldn't I just kill you right now? And mostly the king says, mostly they agree that they will allow us to mostly help us with anything they need. So let's say Ghost Deku mostly you need help fighting somebody. Ghost Deku will come and Deku to help you fight. So yeah. And mostly with their abilities from their world, we can actually gain theirs. And Deku explains that mostly that's going to be harder. He says, what exactly? He explains that mostly it's harder for people to understand Spinjitzu if they do not have the elemental power. I mean, you guys are vampires, so it's harder you guys to do Spinjitzu. When Ghost Deku was in Gyro's body, and he starts smiling about this, and Gyro sees that and says, you're a disgusting pervert. And he says, what? And he explains that mostly if anyone's alive, though, it's a little easier for allowing them to do it, but it's harder if they're, like, dead. And you guys are technically dead corpses, but just living. So it's a little weird. So yeah, he says that it will take Gyro longer to master Spinjitzu and Air Slime Clone and some other shit. So yeah. So, well, Gyro says that just teach me how to do it anyway. And he says, fine. So, well, let's say that... Let's say that mostly Gyro actually got almost a hang to it, though. He explains that mostly you just have to spin, though, and stuff. And the king and queen are watching this. Deku's watching this, too, though. And he does know Spinjitzu himself. And, well, Deku says, wait a second. And Ghost Deku and Gyro hear him say that, hey, Ghost Deku, can you put stuff on you anyway? He says, yeah, I can. And he says, good. So, well, he tosses him the Potara earrings, saying, what the hell are these? And he's saying that, have you ever seen Dragon Ball? And he says, I only seen Z. He said, how long? Mostly the Majin Buu arc. He says, you would know what these things are. And he says, oh yeah, the Potara earrings. And he says, yeah. So just put those things, just tell Gyro to put them on one of her ears and you put it on yours and you guys will fuse. It'll be easier for Gyro to understand mostly Spinjitzu. But mostly Gyro will actually have the full control of the body. But mostly Deku will have the power. So Gyro says, hell no, I'm not fusing with a ghost. He explains that mostly it's not painful and it only lasts for like, let's check, see, an hour or 30 minutes. He asks Deku how long would it last, and he says that mostly how much power you put into it. So he would say that I think it would last you guys for like a few, maybe an hour. I think an hour if you guys don't use that much energy that quickly. Gyro says fine. And she's only agreeing this because she wants to become powerful. Though, not saying she's power hungry, but she still is. So, well, after they fuse, they become Ghost Gyro. So she has ghost abilities, and she's intangible, though, and she's a vampire. So, well, he says, good. So, well, he opens a portal to the cursed realm, and he yells out for Moro. Moro comes with Banshee and Gultar. He says, what is it exactly? He said that mostly... He said, do you guys still have that sort of sanctuary? He says, yeah, why is it? He says, can you just get it for me? He says, why the hell should I listen to you? And he says that, listen to me, you idiot. I can banish you to any realm I want to. I can banish you to the world that not even Sensei Wu would go to. One place that the Spinjitzu Master even created his first realm. And that realm hates ghosts. They even have benchstone that can kill you guys instantly. So he explains that you do whatever I say, or I'll send you guys back immediately. So he says, fine. He tells Banshee to get the Sword Sanctuary. So she does, and she gives it to Deku. He says, good. So, Gyro's still, figuring out how to, move and stuff. He says, hey, Gyro, says, what is it? Mostly he says that you two are fused, so you have the exact same, you guys have your abilities combined. So, he says, this sword allows me to see in the future if anyone tries to attack me if I look at it. So he sees that Gyro's gonna punch him, then he needs to dodge, and then he needs to mostly jump in the air, because Gyro's gonna punch him again. So, Gyro tries to attack him, he dodges, then she tries to punch him again, he jumps in the air, and uses the sword, though, and cuts off Gyro's arm. She's saying, why the hell you just cut off my arm anyway? And saying that mostly your ghostly ability should be regenerating you faster, but that should take time that should drain some time off your fusion. It did so now she only has 45 minutes left. So I think we're gonna have to leave off here, guys, because I think this is a great series and people might like it. By the way, guys, I do have some Gaara pictures. Anyone wants Gaara back? I actually have a great story for him, by the way. Hashtag Gaara back. Hashtag Gaara back. So yeah. I hope you guys actually like this, though. The person that created this art is really good. I actually love it, though. I actually like how Gyro looks, though. I wasn't starting out breast, but mostly the guy who made it right there. And the person that made this one's really good, though. I think it's the exact same person, so yeah.
Minetta's dead.
What?
You don't get it? Instantly, Minetta's dead.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Minez doesn't exist in this timeline. I mean, he is a pervert, so yeah.
He could be the ghost Minetta.
Four-winged hybrid dragon, school of dragons. Oh. So yeah, I think we're going to end off here. This has been the Shadow Master. All hail Lord Nuxanor and his Nuxtaku. Praise him, become him, do where the fuck you want. By the way, guys, the tuning exams do not exist in this timeline, so please do not ask for that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the exams, though, for, the tournament thing for My Hero Academia does not exist in this timeline, so please do not ask for that. By the way, guys, Pop Bob is this. Pop Bob, if you are watching this, be offended. Be highly offended. Oh my guy, oh my OMG, guys, I found the real life Pop Bob. Everyone should plant trees on TBTD and realize to their war on trees. And that's a fact. Soviet Union girls, Ebola thick.
What the fuck?
My brother's a simp. So goodbye, guys.